Everyone is warmly welcomed once again to our YouTube channel. So today, we are going to look at the full story of the movie Aaragan. So let's dive into the full storyline of today's movie. As soon as the movie starts, we are shown a boy and a girl in love. The girl's name is Priya, and the boy is Saravanan. This girl is looking for a small job to cover her daily expenses. After a few days, Priya gets a new job through an advertisement. When she inquires about it, she learns that she has to take care of an elderly woman in a remote village. It's mentioned that the job pays Rs. 70,000. When Priya tells Saravanan about this, he's not too happy. Because paying that much money just to care for an old woman seems suspicious, Saravanan starts to have doubts. However, due to Priya's insistence, Saravanan reluctantly agrees to it. As Priya leaves Saravanan for 6 months, they both spend a few happy days together in the same hostel. After a few days, Priya sets off to the home of the elderly woman. At this point, we're shown a backstory from the distant past related to the movie. Between the years 1260 to 1279, there was a king named Alantharian who had 2 sons. One was named Alantharian, and the other was Aaragan. Prince Aaragan was very skilled in martial arts, swordsmanship, and archery and helped his father in governing the kingdom. Prince Alantharian, on the other hand, did nothing and spent his days indulging in pleasures with royal women. Meanwhile, the kingdom comes under attack. A massive battle breaks out. During this battle, both the king and Prince Aaragan are killed. Prince Alantharian escapes into the forest. There, he meets a meditating priest. As the prince spends some time in the area, while the priest is meditating, a cobra appears and tries to bite him. At that moment, without thinking about himself, the prince tries to chase the cobra away and gets bitten. The priest saves the prince using herbal medicine. Since the prince risked his life to save the priest decides to grant the prince a favor. At that moment, Alantharian asks for a very special wish from the priest. You'll find out what it is in a little while. Now let's come back to the present story. You might remember that Priya had just arrived at the elderly woman's house. She comes to a house located in a beautiful mountain area. Though the surrounding environment is beautiful, the house itself feels quite deserted. As Priya looks around, a woman inside the house calls out to her and invites her in. Priya sees an elderly woman struggling to get out of bed. Priya sets her bag aside, walks up to her, and tells her to rest, not to exert herself. This woman introduces herself as Maddie. Maddie tells Priya that dangerous creatures roam around the premises, so she shouldn't go outside. She adds that all the groceries will be delivered early in the morning and left at the door. Since there's no mobile signal inside the house, Priya messages Saravanan saying everything is fine. She says the woman she's taking care of is also a good person. As Maddie said, the required groceries like vegetables, milk, and eggs are left at the door each morning. Priya's only job is to cook with those items, feed Maddie, and watch the door. She keeps updating Saravanan daily. To make phone calls, Priya climbs uphill behind the house to get a signal. It's been 2 months since Priya arrived at Maddie's house. One night exactly at 12, Maddie is sleeping in her room. Suddenly, she gets up. In the next moment, she tears her hair out, crawls on the floor, and comes into Priya's room. She then grabs Priya's head, pulls her by the hair, and starts stuffing the hair into her mouth. Priya wakes up in shock and begs to be let go, but when she sees Maddie's eyes, she's terrified and screams. But then Priya wakes up. She realizes it was just a dream. The next day, while massaging Maddie's legs, Priya shows her a pregnancy strip. It's positive. You might recall that Priya had spent some time with Saravanan before coming here. That's how this happened. Priya says she wants to tell Saravanan this news in person. So she asks Maddie for some time off. Maddie agrees. Then something strange happens. While Priya is massaging Maddie's legs, now it is Saravanan who's sitting on the bed. Priya is actually massaging Saravanan's legs. Priya still sees Maddie, but she has been hypnotized or enchanted. At that moment, we're shown what the prince asked from the priest. He had asked for eternal youth. The priest grants him that wish. He also gives the prince a special plant. Then he explains how to maintain his youth. First, he must choose a young woman. On a full moon night, he must bathe the plant in his own blood, and it will sprout a seed. That seed must be given to the chosen woman as food. She will become pregnant. A month before she gives birth, she must drink a special potion to terminate the fetus. The blood from the aborted fetus must be added to the plant. The plant will then grow another seed. The prince must eat that seed. That will make him youthful for 12 more years. However, the woman will age 12 years. The priest also explains that if the prince ever loses the sacred figurine that came with the plant, he will rapidly age and die. And he must not harm the chosen woman in any way. Now you must have realized, Saaravanan is actually Prince Elantharian, who has deceived countless young women for centuries to steal their youth. Now, as Priya is pregnant, she is in a delicate condition. We are then shown Saaravanan standing at the front door trying to leave. As you know, Saaravanan is the prince who can take many forms. Then, as Maddie, the prince tells Priya he is going for a walk. But instead of a walk, Saaravanan goes to a ruined building below the estate. There, we see a woman tied up with ropes. Saaravanan forcibly pours a liquid down her throat. The woman tells Saaravanan that she was deceived, but the new girl Priya will never fall for it. She will soon find out the truth. We realize this woman is someone just like Priya, who had been brought here and is now imprisoned. For some reason, Saaravanan wasn't able to collect blood from her fetus. Now she is of no use. But he also can't kill her. The priest had instructed the prince, remember. So Saaravanan only gives her medicine to stop her baby from being born. Then, he returns home, grinds the first batch of the plant into milk, and pours it down Priya's throat while she sleeps. Priya loses consciousness. A little while later, she has a miscarriage. Saaravanan collects her blood. When Priya wakes up in the morning, she weakly tries to talk to Maddie. But not seeing Maddie, she walks to the ruined building. Once inside, she sees the imprisoned woman. That woman tells Priya everything about Saaravanan. Priya unties her and sets her free. Meanwhile, the old-looking Saaravanan goes into the forest to perform the ritual. He hides the sacred plant in a cave. That night, he sleeps in the cave. When he wakes up the next morning, due to the ritual, Saaravanan has become young again. But by stealing Priya's youth, she has now turned into a frail old woman. Before leaving the cave, Saaravanan opens the box to check if the sacred figurine is safe. But it's missing. He panics. We are then shown that Priya now has the figurine. Last night, she had secretly followed Saaravanan and stolen it from the cave. Now, she throws it into a bonfire. As the figurine burns, Saaravanan begins to age. Again, he completely transforms into an old man. With great difficulty, Priya packs her things and leaves Saaravanan's house. Saaravanan is now a helpless, aged man. Because Priya burned the figurine, Saaravanan rapidly aged. Even though the prince received the priest's favor, for centuries he deceived women, made them pregnant, and stole their youth using their blood. Now, it has all come to an end. And with that, the movie ends too. If you like the movie, make sure to give the video a like. And if you're new to the channel and enjoy watching such movies, please subscribe and turn on the bell notification. That way, we'll meet again soon with another awesome movie. Until then, goodbye and best wishes to everyone.